Hello and welcome to the Trophy Trust Podcast, our weekly podcast of PlayStation trophies. Welcome to episode 48. In this week's episode, we are accompanied by Sora.
Hello, hello!
B-Tips.
We meet again.
And Poppy is Cherry. Lee.
Well, that's about as good an introduction as you're gonna get.
Honestly, come on. I think I peaked right there.
So it's all downhill for here. So.
Oh, definitely. You signed up.
That was the best way to introduce yourself ever.
I know. Thank you.
Okay. So, welcome to the Trophy Trust Podcast. This weekly podcast of PlayStation Trophy. So, how is everyone doing today?
I'm doing fucking fantastic ever since that happened.
I'm great.
I'm doing
Chilling.
amazing right now.
Got no work today. Chilling.
Yep.
Hopefully, I'll finish.
Yo, same. I'm off today.
Oh shit! Look at that.
Look at us, free men, on a Friday.
Free men on a quest.
Not getting laid.
Speak for yourself.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah. Single for life. Anyway.
Oh damn.
Hashtag.
Yeah. Anyways, how is everyone doing this fine evening? Doing very well, playing games and all stuff. So, before we start, anyone is interested in saying what have they been playing this week?
I can, because what I'm playing is actually different from the last 6 weeks.
Oh my god!
Oh, is it?
I'm actually playing through a number of different things. I am playing through Telltale's Game of Thrones, despite the fact that I have never watched the show or read any of the books.
Exactly.
Just for the platinum.
Intended.
I have also played through the PS4 and the Vita version of Claire Extended Cut, and I'm still in the process of getting the platinum for Claire on the Vita.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go into that a little bit later during the tricky trophy section, but
Yeah.
Little sneak peek into what that.
still playing Neo, but that's like Claire, but I will be returning to that soon enough.
Exactly.
It's just I've been playing like more stuff after I got the platinum for Fallout Shelter, so.
Well, at least it's getting more diverse after this. But anyone that is interested in saying what games were you playing, would you describe any of them? Like Claire, for example?
Game of Thrones on Telltale is obviously, just like any other Telltale game. But Claire is like a 32-bit side-scrolling like survival horror game.
Mm-hmm.
You play as this woman named Claire, and you have to, I guess, like, the whole premise is to like find her mother, but it's set in like this kind of like Silent Hill-ish kind of thing where monsters are chasing you, and it's all like you're going through like some kind of mental breakdown and stuff. It's like psychological horror.
You know, as you do. It's a typical Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go through, you just go through like random like places and scenarios, just trying to survive and get back to your mother. Apparently.
Oh. Okay.
Get back to mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
But yeah, now that you have done that, as well as what's the other one? I keep forgetting now. You're still playing Neo, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
I'm only playing Claire because it was free on PS Plus on the Vita. But when you download the Vita version, you automatically get the PS4 version. So that's two trophies.
So it stacks?
That's two platinum trophies right there.
Oh shit!
That's awesome. And Game of Thrones as well as came out on PS Plus not too long.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're about 13%.
Okay.
Nice.
And I considered not doing it, but it's just a platinum. So
Exactly.
I'm already 5 episodes in at this point. I have 1 episode left.
Wait, there's 6 episodes? I thought it was only 4.
There are 6 episodes, and they're all like
Yeah.
7 chapters each within every episode.
Yo, they're so fucking long too.
Yeah, it's like 2
Yeah,
hours long for every episode.
It's like get a normal Game of Thrones episode on TV, times it by like 2.5. That's how long each episode takes you to complete.
Yeah, it takes forever, and it's.
But like I said, I have no idea who these characters are. I don't know these places. Nothing. Like,
all right, so like, as someone who watches Game of Thrones, listen. The characters in the Telltale version, they don't relate to the story. The main characters, you know, they talk about Daenerys and Jon Snow, but they have minor references in the game. It's not that big. The game, for the most part, is like its own entity. It doesn't even come close to the show.
Yeah, let me just give you a brief thing. I did not like it. I ended up getting to episode 3 completely committed to like following the story, and then once I got to episode 3, I just started mashing my way through dialogue.
Yeah, somebody told me like 4, 5, and 6 like is where the story starts to pick up.
Which it does, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie, episode 5 was a lot better than the other 4 episodes I played.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in seeing how episode 6 ends.
Oh.
Personally, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay. I have never played Game of Thrones, but I have watched the show, so it's all fair and good, and I will take it from these guys. Yeah, it is somewhat like how they describe it. So, let's go from there. Now that B-Tips is done, Lee, you wanna pop your cherry and say what you've been playing?
Oh, of course, Dad. I'm playing Yakuza Kiwami.
Don't start it like that! Don't start it like that!
Listen, I'm popping my cherry, right? I gotta do it correctly.
Why is it gotta be Dad, though?
I mean, do you want to be Dad?
No!
This podcast is not going to be suited for children under 18.
Do not pass go, do not collect 200.
Good direct. But I'm playing Yakuza Kiwami for PS4, and I'm playing Dragon Ball FighterZ.
So, did you finish Mahjong?
Yes. Mahjong is finally over. I'm at 93.18% for the completion list. I have to get some minor items and just eat at places, and I'm done with that list.
Yeah. You know, for people that don't know, Lee has been playing Yakuza for the longest time right now.
Yeah, it's pushing like 3 weeks now, honestly.
Oh my god.
More like 2 actually, but
I mean,
it's getting carried away at this point.
I mean, after all of this is over, the only thing that is standing in your way is basically just doing the
New Game Plus.
New Game Plus, and that's it.
And that's one trophy. That's all legend difficulty, and that's since you carry all your items over and your armor and whatnot. I already have the best of all of that, so it'll make the playthrough a whole lot easier. I don't know what else carries over though. I haven't looked into that.
Oh well. And what was the other game that you were playing?
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah, but you were trying to get all the million zenny, right?
20 million zenny. Oh god, that's a
20 million zenny. For
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's a trophy. It's why the game is so fucking rare. It's a sub 1% plat. But it's
How
pretty
much money
easy.
do you get per match?
If you're lucky, about 500.
Only 500 each match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you have to get 20 million of the bitches?
Yep. So there's a little thing you can do in story mode when you're what's it called? When you're in hard difficulty, you can farm zenny. It's like 6,000 ish per like 2 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a low exploit, but it takes so long to get to that point. Like I don't want to fucking go for that part, but I'm gonna still do it.
Oh well. So that's all you've been playing then, Fridays
Yeah,
and Yakuza.
Yeah, I played what's this game called? Hold up, I think it's called Clayton Quest. No, Can't Squad. Excuse me. It was a free game on PSN.
Mm-hmm.
It was a quick 100%.
Oh well.
Just to get some variety.
Oh well. That. Yeah. It's pronounced fighters, not fighters Z. Oh. Okay.
Alright, listen.
Fighters.
You're right, but still.
Yeah. I mean, it was put fighters in that way because it was a prototype name before it got leaked. So.
Yeah.
They were probably gonna change it to something else, but they decided not to bother because it was like, it's appropriate. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, Sora, you're still playing Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah. I'm still playing Kingdom Hearts. I played a couple games before this. I recently platinumed Neo Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom.
Oh, nice.
That was a doozy.
I mean,
But it for anyone that doesn't know, like the Neo Kuni series, Neo Kuni is a JRPG that was originally made by, the faces of Level 5 and Studio Ghibli. Studio Ghibli took a large Studio Ghibli had a large part in the first game, and then they announced the sequel, but they also announced that Studio Ghibli wasn't going to be involved whatsoever, except for like one of the writers, I believe, came from Studio Ghibli to work on the game. But that's the only involvement that Studio Ghibli has. There's no animated cutscenes in the game whatsoever.
Question: Would you say that 2's better than 1, or?
Oh God. So
I know that 2's a lot shorter.
2 is definitely a lot shorter. Like Ni no Kuni, the original, was like an 80-hour adventure. Ni no Kuni 2, you're lucky to get 30 hours in it.
On top of that, the plot in 1 is like close to 200 hours, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Platinum 1 is like 172 to 200.
Don't you have to collect all the fucking the yokai?
Yeah, you gotta collect all the monsters in the game. It's basically just a Pokemon trophy. And then and then in Ni no Kuni 2, the amount of time to platinum it is like 60 to 80 hours. So it's a super big time difference between those two games. But to compare one better than 2 or 2 better than 1, I mean, when I do JRPGs, I kind of compare story better rather than gameplay. Kuni 2, because Ni no Kuni 1's story is so much more better.
Right.
But the gameplay in 2 is by far the best. I just couldn't get a handle on the whole Pokemon system that they had going on in the first game.
Oh, okay. So now that you got that platinum mode, you're still playing Kingdom Hearts 2 to get the. If I'm not mistaken, you were trying to get to that game and get all the platinums of Kingdom Hearts before Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
I am indeed. So right after that,
that's the same road I'm traveling down to.
I'll do the road eventually.
A lot of people in the server are starting to do that. Unknown is going for his Chain of Memories platinum for his 1300 platinum trophy. Nomad is. I think Nomad's still doing it. I don't know if he's finished it yet, but I think he's close to.
Right, still working on it.
Yeah, he's close to doing it, and he's actually the one who made me want to go back to Kingdom Hearts 2 because he was playing it when I was platinuming Okami right after Ni no Kuni 2. I was like,
game.
Fuck, man. I really want to play a Kingdom Hearts game. And so...
Damn.
So I decided to just jump back into Kingdom Hearts 2.
I still need to play Birth by Sleep, and...
I need to play the series in general.
Ooh.
Yeah, we need to pop your cherry in that regard, too.
I mean, see, look, my cherry's half up. I played Days, so...
I mean, I only need to play the 0.2, what was it called?
Aqua Story?
Yeah, Fragment Memories or something like that. I need to play that
2.8, 0.2, Fragmentary Passage, Final Chapter Prologue. I hate the names that they come up with.
I know! I couldn't even think about it at
It's like a Metal Gear Solid name.
It's exactly like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Another series I don't plan on playing anytime soon.
Like Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Tactical Espionage.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Featuring Dante from Devil May Cry series.
And Knuckles.
About right.
And Knuckles. EX Alpha Plus. Yeah. And
So, Beck, what are you playing?
oh yeah, I also been playing games. So
Yeah.
I've been playing games.
okay, so I only played 3 games, but 2 of them I got Platinum Zone. So I've been playing Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault. It's basically Ratchet and Clank, but it's like a RTS type of game. It's kind of open world where you go in each planet and defend your base against an enemy AI while playing through this story with 5 levels. It's by far one of the shorter games of the Ratchet and Clank series. I might say it's even shorter than Into the Nexus. But it was a bit grindy, but it was in the end very easy. I have to give shout out to Cypher that helped me with one of the last online trophies in that game, because that online servers are completely dead. It was Insomniac's attempt to a competitive RTS style game for the consoles, and you know how that ended up. Exactly. I enjoyed kinda. I did not like how meme cultured it was, and I did not like how The story was bare bones and very inconsequential compared to other games, say Into the Nexus or Quest for Booty, for their length. Uh, and I do at least enjoy the ability to have hover boots on for the longest time as well from Crack in Time, but that's about it. Um, but yeah, none of you guys have played this game, right?
I
I
mean,
played it in the past, but never like went for the platinum at all.
Yeah.
yeah, the same with me. I mean, it's like I played Into the Nexus. I didn't really like that game. I played The Crack in Time, by far one of my favorite Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah.
And then Quest for Booty, I've dipped in a couple times into. I have never played Tools of Destruction, though. I need to go back and play that game.
Yeah. Even though it doesn't have platinum trophy, it does have very, very interesting gameplay and in a combat system for the early stages of the PS3. But
I have a question.
yes.
Does James Arnold Taylor still voice Ratchet?
Yeah, every single iteration since his appearance in the second game, even in the movie game.
That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah. Besides that one, I've also been playing, and platinumed, Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing. The first one, not the Transformed, which is basically
Okay.
yeah, it's like Sonic R, but with more characters and a wider variety of cars, and it doesn't suck.
It doesn't suck. That's a good thing to lead off with.
Yeah.
It doesn't suck.
I actually enjoyed playing this one. It's one of those games I played back in the early stages of the PS3. I think back in 2010, and then I stopped playing it because I didn't have anyone to boost with, or I didn't have any interest in trophies. But I decided, what the heck, I'll do it anyway, and I actually had quite the enjoyment playing through what was essentially like missing content I never played before. I quite enjoyed what Sega was trying to do with this game, and I actually enjoyed some of the characters that were very obscure, like Bonanza Brothers, Choo Choo Rocket, Alex Kidd, Oppa Oppa, among others. Alex
Oppa
Kidd.
Gangnam Style?
No.
No.
Do not.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you.
Hey!
Sexy lady.
Oh,
Oh,
no. I'm out of the podcast. I'm out. Just cut me out.
This podcast isn't sponsored by Psy.
Exactly.
So.
That's from my side.
Sponsored by Psy. And Nair.
And the no button.
And the button. Yeah. But
Please
yeah,
sponsor us. We need money.
we need
Yeah.
money. Yeah, we need desperately money. But no. But seriously, but that game was very short, very sweet. I thought it was pretty cool. The trophy list, however, is a separate story, but I'll get to that later down the road. But in overall, I enjoyed what was being attempted to, and it's quite the easy platinum. It's like a 4 out of 10 trophy difficulty. I actually enjoyed it if anyone wants to play some good old racing games, you know? And
I like it.
and the last one, which I've been playing, and I just started it, not played it, but I have some history of this one. I've been going back to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
What?
I was hoping you said Marvel versus Capcom.
No. No.
But wait, you've been going back to the second Marvel Ultimate Alliance game?
Yeah, because...
Ugh.
Yeah, I know. That game has not aged well.
Oh God.
So, I played this game back in 2010 as well. It was a old game I had because I didn't have many PS3 games at the time. So I was stuck with either Uncharted, which I already beaten, Ratchet and Clank, which I already beaten, some racing games which I already beaten, and I didn't have any interest in playing Gran Turismo again. And then I had this game, so I played through this game, and I thought it was enjoyable. I never saw the story of Civil War before, until I got interested, and this made me dip into the comics world and actually read up some comics and see what the perspectives were on the Civil War. But Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 is basically the story of Civil War told and played upon. So, how the Pro-Registration Act is being enacted, to actually having, having superheroes being their identities revealed to the government, and actually getting paid for what they're actually supplying for. So it's basically what if superheroes were being hired, but they have to reveal their identities to protect the people and the citizens and actually get their just deserves. Um, but it's a very very interesting story. But I don't like the gameplay. It's kind of archaic, and Sora can agree with me by saying that it's like you hold multiple buttons to do multiple combinations. For example, if you press the L2 button and press a button, any of the face buttons, you get a power a power. And then if you press the R2 button, you get the fusions, which is the game's gimmick, which you can combine two characters' powers together to form an attack that devastates the opponents. It's mainly played as a top-down beat 'em up, where 4 players can jump in at any time, which is quite fun with having another person playing. But honestly, it's very repetitive, very fast. And
yeah, they put way too many mechanics into the second game, and that's why I feel like it failed. Because the first game was good in the sense of it was a simple combat system, simple story. It was just there for you to have fun, and that was it.
yeah, and this game is also, it's like trying to put like medals, ability points, leveling up system, trying to put power pips for your powers, and then trying to switch up the characters whenever you wanted, changing the costumes. It was a mess. And even like trying to switch out the characters, it was like a loading screen for each character to swap them out. And I don't mind loading screens, but it's one per character. So you want to assemble a full team of, let's say, the X-Men, for example, like I did Storm, Wolverine, Iceman, and Gambit all in one team. I basically was like very upset because at the end of it all, I had to wait like two to 3 loading screens in order to wait until like you can swap your characters. And I have also heard that was on PS4 as well, but that was delisted a month ago. So it's not even worth it, to be honest. It's a good retelling, but they have Nick Fury as a white man, and I cannot see Nick Fury as a white man. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He was originally a white man in the comic.
Was it though? I thought I heard.
Yeah, in the comics, he was originally a white man.
Yeah, we're used to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, when everyone saw Samuel L. Jackson was going to be Nick Fury, it was.
It was
that's when yeah, there was a controversy over that.
Because Samuel L. Jackson is black and Nick Fury is normally white.
Now I cannot see that anymore. Yeah, seeing Nick Fury.
And now like Nick Fury in every like cartoon and movie now has just been black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, really? I never noticed this. Thank you, Nick. Nick Fury was black in the 2004-5 Ultimate Spider-Man game. Wasn't that on PS2 and PS3? I need to check it out. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. So let's move on then with the news section then. Since this is like the first week of August, we have already heard what were the PS Plus games for August 2018. So to start with, we have Mafia 3 and Dead by Daylight for PS4. As well as Bound by Flame and Serious Sam 3 on PS3. Finally ending with Draw Slasher and Space Hulk for Vita. And with 2 bonus additional games coming, a VR game called Here They Lie, and last but not least, we got Knowledge is Power, the Playlink game. So, what do you guys think about the new 8 games that are coming on?
Alright, so personally, I've never played a Mafia game, but I do understand that Mafia 3 is lackluster compared to Mafia 2. It apparently has a lot of glitches as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that Dead by Daylight is a huge fucking grind.
Yeah.
And already Rare Play is gonna fucking jump so low.
Okay.
So that's good if you're, a UR person, but besides that, like the list, it's a pretty solid list in my opinion.
Yeah. So the theme at this time it seems to be blood and horror, which is kind of weird to put it on August instead of October, but I don't know.
Yeah. On top of
Um,
that, why give us knowledge power?
Apparently, the Here They Lie game doesn't need to be played with VR, from what I heard.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Oh, it can be played without it?
It can be played without VR. You can play with VR, but you can also play without it.
Oh well, that's interesting. Thank you, Don, and thank you, B-Tips, for the clarification with that one.
Yeah, and in terms of the list, I can't speak on the PS3 and Vita stuff because I haven't heard of those games before.
Mm-hmm.
But for Speculate, I probably won't play because not only does it have a pretty hard trophy list, but it's also not a game that I just see myself enjoying.
Yeah.
But Mafia 3, I'll more than likely get it because not only is it an easy trophy list, but I also wanted to play. I've been interested in the Mafia series since Mafia 2, and I wanted to get it, but I just never had the money for it at the time. But Mafia 3 coming out makes it easy for me because I actually considered buying it not too long ago.
Oh well.
Whenever it hit the next sale.
Oh.
So the fact that it's free now means that all I'd have to do to get 100% in the trophy list is just to buy the DLC. But
yeah,
as far as the main game goes, I'm interested in enjoying it.
Yeah.
With the hubbub.
Looking at the PSP games, Bound by Flame and Serious Sam 3, both of them are pretty good. Bound by Flame is an RPG where you play as this guy that gets possessed by a demon, and now you have to cope with that demon in order to go around and killing the people that got you killed in the first place. So it's like a possession story, but you're actually playing as the character. And
wait, which
I heard RPG. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an RPG. And Serious Sam 3 is basically a shooter that goes around, of course, shooting everything in the face.
Yeah, it's basically like Doom, right?
Yeah, it's like Doom, but it's more open-ended and has more guns.
It has more guns.
Yeah. According to this, apparently the Dead by Daylight, from the video that we saw on the PS Plus reveals, it's not the base game, it's the whole thing. Including the DLC content, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, nice.
So people that are getting the 100% are probably gonna get the PS Plus for this game. Anyway, besides that, the Vita games, Draw Slasher seems interesting. Space Hulk was already previously sent over for PS3 before, so I have no idea why would they go back again with Space Hulk for Vita.
I mean, stacks, so
Stacks on stacks on stacks, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all the reason people need.
Yeah.
And plus the Space Hulk game coming that's we're getting free. It has only 74 owners and 2 people have the platinum, so it's also gonna lower the rarity a good bit.
Yeah.
Which makes me happy. Because the game seems pretty easy. It also has a guide as well. For the Vita specifically, that is.
Draw Slasher seems fun though. That has you swipe the touch screen to kill enemies as a ninja. So
yeah.
Those games look pretty fun and violent. Yeah, but the one that I'm interested in is Knowledge is Power. Because I've seen that game going around $5 around.
So let me talk about that game because that's actually that's my favorite playing game actually. So the platinum honestly it's pretty fucking easy. It's one of the games that I truly want to play with family and friends. And I've never said that about a game in my life, which is kind of sad. Oh my god, this game is so much fun. And unlike That's You where it has that same comedy or whatever, not comedy, the same questions. Knowledge is Power has different questions, so many different questions, so many different categories. It's endless time to play.
Huh.
And I'm the plot, it's already easy. But I'm not the replayability that the game has is just insane.
Yeah. It's like a party game like Fibbage that, you already hear the questions multiple times and you get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. but it seems like it has a platinum and also has like play with 6 people kind of stuff.
Yeah, but if you don't have 6 friends, I'm sorry, but if you can either emulate the get an Android emulator on your computer, tablets work on this as well, so you can use a tablet. There's other ways to get around this.
Yeah, and apparently there's a trophy that requires that everybody is in sync.
Yeah. I don't remember how to get that one exactly because I haven't played the game in a good bit. I will be going for the platinum again on this account though.
I remember it was like what I remember is like everybody has to get all the correct answers. But yeah. Yeah, interesting that Knowledge is Power is getting like a playlink game, but
yeah. I'm like I said, it makes me happy because the platinum is already pretty rare, and for it to drop even further down, oh yeah.
oh, I didn't know about this. There's another playlink game called SingStar Celebration, but that doesn't seem to have trophies according to
Yeah, it doesn't. I have the game and it's still sealed for that reason.
Huh.
Wow, it's still for that reason.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. Oh well.
I forgot who mentioned it, but I don't believe how true this is. Someone mentioned that SingStar, that game, is the same one as SingStar Celebration, but I don't know how true that is.
That's interesting. B-Tips, what do you think about Here They Lie? You're a big horror fan.
I mean, I'll look at it, but based on what I've heard of it so far, it just doesn't seem like. I mean, I like horror games, but I like fun horror games, so.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'll have to take a look at it,
Oh.
but we'll see. I mean, I might get it, but.
Oh well.
Question. We're not question. Comment. So about the Here They Lie PSVR game, in case people were talking, in case people were planning, even though you can use it without, or 100% without the VR, you can still get that.
Huh. That's.
Yeah. So even so literally, it's a 400% game.
Oh.
Is Here They Lie on the PS4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not PS3. It's of course
Because like they said we were getting like 2 like bonus games, but it didn't say on the thing that I read. Like
Yeah,
what
Here
they
They Lie
were.
is one bonus game. The other is Knowledge is Power.
Huh.
Knowledge is Power. It runs from August 7th to November 6th, so 3 months. If I'm good at math, yeah, 3 months. And Here They Lie goes from August to I think October.
I mean, I would like to get people to play it, so yeah, I feel like it seems to be a fun time.
I'll look at Here They Lie a little bit more and see what's.
I definitely will go for the trophy, 100% on that, because it doesn't seem like a hard list.
Okay.
I'll drop.
Yeah, that's the thing. None of these games seem like really particularly hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all seem relatively easy, in my opinion.
Except
Except,
for Dead by Daylight.
Except for Space Hulk over here, Nomad said that 74 people own the game, 2 people platinumed it on the Vita.
Yeah, which is perfect the way I see it. Because it also doesn't seem like. I'll drop the list for that one as well because I was looking at it. It doesn't seem rare.
Serious Sam's
Not rare. It doesn't seem hard,
difficulty.
excuse me.
Oh well. Yeah.
And it has no. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Here They Lie doesn't have a plat? Oh, never
No.
mind.
Yo, what?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I dropped the list for Space Hulk. Like I said, it doesn't seem hard. It's a 2 out of 10 difficulty for 3 playthroughs and 50 hours.
Oof. That seems interesting. Overall with the PS Plus.
Yeah, like I said, the list I'm like the games I'm most excited for is ironically is the the indies and whatnot. I don't really care for the big AAA one this game.
Yeah. The more.
Yeah, this month doesn't really have any AAA games that I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
yes. So glad.
I can see myself playing Dead by Daylight with friends, but I don't want to go for this final. I'm good.
No.
I mean, this month gives me a chance to play Mafia 3 because I love Mafia 2, but after all the poor reviews I heard from Mafia 3, I'm like, But now that it's free, it gives me an excuse to play it.
Yeah, and it's already updated, so people that beta tested the game at launch, they already helped us a lot in the long way. So, thank you.
Oh, Nomad made a comment about the Space Hulk. It has 8 stacks. So.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
Yeah. Let me look exactly. Let me look at this fast. Hold up.
There's 8 stacks
Yep.
of Space Hulk. Jesus.
All right, so there's Space Hulk Ascension, which has an NA and EU. Then there's Space Hulk for PS4, Vita, PS3, and EU, NA in Asia.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, PS3, PS4, and PS Vita all have a stack, separate list. So
Interesting. So if you're
Yeah.
already good at, let's say, Space Hulk, you'll probably get again and again and again and again.
yeah, so it seems like a relatively easy game just to go for the stack for it as well.
Yeah, not many people have played it, so probably an easy ultra rare or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
If you want that UR, I wouldn't play the Asian version though because that has 5 people and it has a platinum. So.
Oh well. Anyway, let's move on with the PS Plus lineup because we already talked about too much about it.
Yeah,
We talked it to death.
Yeah, so let's move on with the next story that we have. Probably you people have already heard about this overnight, but Spyro Reignited Trilogy, the physical copies of that game only include the first game on the disc, and the rest are in a separate update that you have to download before playing the first game. So
Wait, hold up. Wait, what?
Yeah, so
No, wait. So, I just want to make sure I heard it right. So, so you get the disc, you buy the disc,
yes.
yeah.
and you put it into your PS4, and the only game... The fuck was that? the only game that you can play when you put the disc in is the first game?
Yep,
That's right.
that's correct.
You have to install an update to get the other 2 games. Now, this is my problem with that for people that don't live, in the big city or people where areas where it has good internet. You can take God knows how long to get the other fucking Spyro games, if at all, because you might be in an area where you have literally no internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll be in the middle of playing the first one while the other 2 download.
But still, like...
That just sucks for people who have shit internet, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, thankfully I have good internet, but still.
Yeah.
And you still need the disc to play the other 2 games.
Apparently.
You still need the
Wait, whoa. Even if you downloaded it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still need the... Why?
Because all you're doing is installing an update. The update doesn't have... The update holds the 2 games, but that's only for the disc.
Yeah.
Why not just put all 3 games on all disc like other collections do?
Because apparently they just cut corners, and instead of putting the 50 gigabyte disc, they used the 25 gigabyte disc instead. That's how they can fit Spyro 1, but not Spyro 2 or 3. So...
How much did they do to these games to make it that big?
Yeah.
It's
I imagine they're probably like just as amazing as like the Crash remaster.
Yeah, I would assume so, but still.
But they were able to put all 3 Crash games on the thing.
Yeah, that's
But see, this is my opinion though. Remember, Spyro is like a roam around open world game. Crash is a platformer. There's a lot more to do in Spyro. If that makes sense.
Spyro is a little bit more open than Crash is.
Yeah.
So I understand why it is a bigger game, but it's still bullshit.
Yeah, because people that want to play those, let's say, if... I had this as a debate earlier, but it's like, what if the servers suddenly shut down or you cannot get the update anymore? You're just stuck with a singular copy of Spyro 1 on PS4. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Noma made a comment, and I think it's great. It should be digital only if the whole game isn't on the disc.
Exactly.
And I think that's true.
I mean,
like, I'm a big physical. Like, I love having games physical. I'm skipping out on this when I'm getting it digital.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of even getting the physical copy if you have to download the 2 of the 3 games?
I honestly don't mind it, because I can't speak for everyone because my connection isn't that bad, so I could probably just download the other 2 games in a heartbeat. But
I can't too. But it's the idea that they're doing this shit.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's just I really don't mind it because you still bought the $60 game. I think it's like $60. You still bought the $60 game. You still get all 3 games. It's just in a different format as to what you're expecting. You're expecting all 3 games to be on one disc, but because they couldn't fit it all on, you're still getting it via an update. You're still getting all 3 of them on the disc. You just have to get the update to do it.
Yeah. At least it's not like a voucher or anything, because if it was a voucher, it would have been worse. Because, let's say, what was the game called? God of War Saga did this. God of War Saga had 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3 on disc, but the PSP titles were all in a voucher that expired a few years later. So even if you really wanted to play those games, the Saga cannot be the best version. People just recommend you pick up 1 and 2 on the collection, then play Origins collection, and then play 3 separately. So
it's only $40. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it comes out around the same time that Spider-Man comes out. Hell yeah, let's go.
It comes out. I'll get an exact release date for you.
Yeah, thank you.
September 21st.
That's an easy hundo right there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it should have 3 platinums.
Yeah.
You know, 1, 2, and 3.
So
Should.
So
Yeah, I said should. I said should because you know.
yeah. So we're just gonna keep credit. People found this because apparently in the fine print on the website said when it checked on the Xbox One and PS4 version on the console, it said on the fine print that developers are working to put them on, only the first game is on disc and the other 2 require download in order to get access to them. So
Spyro's on Xbox?
Yeah, Spyro's on Xbox. Yeah, not only on
I don't
PS4
know,
but Xbox.
This is news to big this.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
how'd you feel when Crash is finally going to be on Switch and
let's
Xbox?
Let's move on. I'm not.
Yeah, and even so, I'm just gonna put one more thing. Activision made a comment about it that they basically just said, "Hey, we don't have a reason to do so. We just did it." So
Nice.
For putting it onto
big balls
putting it onto Xbox?
yeah, that was one of the comments they said after all of this happened. They just don't.
They just did it because they could.
Yeah, they did it just because they could. So they don't want to admit that they
I don't.
cut corners.
I don't care, dude. Insomniac makes some great ass games. I don't care.
Yeah.
Spyro is just gonna be as good as I remember playing it like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Hopefully, even though they redesigned what's this guy called? Moneybags. Yeah, they did that. They
got going back to Ratchet and Clank. Fucking James Arnold Taylor is voicing Spyro the Dragon, just like he did in the old PS1 games.
Huh.
So
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
just reliving your childhood all over again.
Yeah, here's the quote. As most games today, downloading an update after purchase is quite common. Really?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not downloading 2 freaking whole games? That's not normal.
I don't mind it, like what B-Tip said, like because I have really good internet. But it's like what Nomad said earlier. It's the principle that they're actually doing this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you
My whole
want to
thing
get
is-
you want that physical copy, but if it's just gonna be like that and you're not gonna really like it that way, then you can just buy a digital version.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I probably plan on doing. I'm just gonna pre-order it on the PS Store.
Oh, B-Tips, just to correct yourself, PS1 was Carlos A for first.
Oh yeah, that's true. Tom Kenny, because he voiced SpongeBob. I forgot.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick.
Tom
Wow,
Kenny.
I got screwed over there hard.
Yeah.
I thought it was James Arnold, but it was actually Tom Kenny.
Yeah, probably. Thank you for avoiding that lynching of the Spyro community. Anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on. From
You know what we should have in the podcast? Like, at the beginning of every podcast? We should have, like, corrections from, like, everything that we said wrong in the podcast, and then we go over the podcast
That'd be
we
spoiling the podcast, though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
had.
probably like, stop, record scratch. Hey, this guy said wrong. We'll apologize for saying this wrong, and then come. Yeah. Yeah, but let's move on next. Apparently, they announced a Horizon Zero Dawn board game. So Steamforge Games announced that they'll be working with Sony and Guerrilla to develop a board game on the Horizon Zero Dawn universe. And this will be
Why?
Building.
Why not? It's awesome. They've done Dark Souls in the past, the card game Dark Souls, RE2, and some other shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't like a Monopoly game, which is actually cool for me because I'm actually
I love board
interested
games.
I'm interested in board games that aren't following like a similar style to like a game that's already out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like I fucking love board games. So if it's a reasonable price, I'll pick it up.
Yeah. people will most likely buy it just for the figurines that look super detailed.
Yeah.
Especially like some of the robots and even the actual protagonist looks pretty fucking cool for all things considered in the images. But it's an honestly like a mention just per se, but it's surprisingly good. Uh, anything else you want to say on that before we move on?
Yeah, not really. It's it's either you like it or you don't like board games. That's kind of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not that big of a board game fan, honestly.
Sucks.
Yeah. But let's see. The next one we have is that apparently Capcom wants to do more remakes and re-releases of
this one makes me happy.
Post Resident Evil 2. So
This makes me happy as well because
oh my god, you go
the
first.
potential to make a Resident Evil 3 remake is up there, and I'm super excited for it.
yes, that's the first thing I was thinking about. Like,
Alright,
give me
now-
Resident Evil 3.
I'm going ahead of you. See, they said possibility of more remakes and re-releases. That doesn't just mean Resident Evil. That means all Capcom games.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That gets me fucking excited.
Let me get Capcom versus SNK 2, or let me get Ghosts and Goblins. Yo, oh my
Dino
god.
Crisis.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking
Remakes
god.
for Dino Crisis would be amazing.
Please, Captain Commando, yo. Beautiful Joe, yo.
Oh my god,
Yo,
Beautiful
they could-
Joe, I want it! Now,
Yo, come
you got
on.
me excited.
I'm thinking PS1 era. You guys are thinking into the PS2s now.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna throw you a curveball here. One of those super rare games, Power Stone. 'Cause-
Bitch, yes!
my God.
Yes, yes,
oh my
yes!
god, I'm going,
Yes, wow.
I played this game. I really loved it. Yeah.
Power Stone is so much like it was like I think it's like one of the first like fully 3D fighting games, Arena Fighter,
Yeah.
and it was so underrated, but it's so great. Oh my
I mean,
god!
just based on what they said in this article, and just based on how long it's like, because they announced Resident Evil 2 3 years ago, so
Yeah.
it's going to take them a while after Resident Evil 2 comes out to make whatever like remake or remaster.
I mean, I'm
they want to make.
the way I see it, the idea that we could get other old Capcom games that have had no light in God knows how long, like Power Stone or Ghosts and Goblins, or like Final Fight, games like that. That makes me
Rising
so.
One.
Yeah, Rising One, Beautiful Joe.
Can we get Mega Man in this shit? Come on. I want.
I don't.
Mega Man 11's already coming out. What more do you want?
Yeah, we won't get any more Mega Mans, and I'll tell you why. Remember, we have the Mega Man Collection 1 and 2, which comes with all Mega Man games, and then we have the X Collection that comes with all those Mega Man games.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm correct, Capcom didn't make like the RPG one, and there was another one I forgot. The
There
card
was
game.
there's the RPG one, there's the ZX series, there's the Legend series, and I'm missing one more. The Star Force series. So it's like and Battle Network, which is the RPG.
Yeah, there
one.
we go. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that's not I don't see Capcom doing that honestly. And we won't get any like Mega Man 1 through 9 or 1 through 10, excuse me.
Yeah.
And we have X through X. I think it's 6 or 8. I don't remember how many X games there were.
No, I think there was 8 because I don't think there was a next 9 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
There was way too many X games.
I'm
sorry.
There's too many Mega Man games. Period.
Yeah, like listen, if I could have a Dream Mega Man game come back, let me get Mega Man X Command Mission. Real talk.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Mega Man X Command Mission.
Mega Man
Yeah.
Warrior.
Huh.
Mega Man X Command Mission, that greatness, the PS2 game.
Yeah. Oh, if we're gonna talk about Capcom games besides Okami, what was that game on GameCube only that only released but never got out outside of Beautiful Joe and Okami? I forget.
The Capcom only GameCube game.
Yeah, I forget what was the name of that game.
Did
I
it
saw
get
this in a
released?
video recently. What was it?
Wait, it got released, right?
Did it?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I mean, I'm checking. I don't remember.
Not Biohazard 7 or 4, excuse me.
No.
Not Beautiful Joe.
It was
Phoenix
Dead Phoenix?
or Killer 7. Which one? I have to be one of those.
Piano 3?
The Capcom 5. Resident Evil. Beautiful Joe. Oh, I think it was like PN03 and Killer 7. Although Killer 7 got released for PC, so probably that's gonna be one of the games that probably gets a remaster on console. That'll be awesome to play Killer 7.
You know, it would be an awesome remake. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna do even better. Beautiful Joe.
Come on.
We remake Resident Evil 4 and then put it back on every single console known to man.
Well, we already do that now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Word.
I mean, remaster Resident Evil 4 and then ship it for the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the Xbox consoles, all the Nintendo consoles.
You know how much money they would make if they did that again? Jesus.
A buttload.
I mean,
A
what
metric
else,
buttload.
what else you can put in? More Monster Hunter games, Street
Eh,
Fighter games.
No.
Oh, if they would remaster like Monster Hunter, like the first one for the PS2, I would die happy.
Uh,
In the style of Monster Hunter World, let's go.
What about
that would
Yeah.
actually that would be pretty good.
I know, man. I don't know. I think you're joking about that, but please. 5. That was my favorite.
They won't do that until after they remake Resident Evil 4.
Wait,
Guaranteed
wait.
they will.
Hey! I think we're missing the bigger picture. What about Remember Me from PS3 and Xbox 360?
All right, listen.
Who remembers Remember Me?
Yeah, exactly. Who remembers that game? Next.
I do.
He said, "Who remembers that game?" Next.
Listen. Remember Me? It was okay from what I remember, but I didn't care about them at all. Like, it was a game that we got on Plus 1 month, and I played it for a few minutes, and I skipped it.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought it was a really decent game, being on Neo Paris, and it had a very interesting plot, but it's too convoluted for its own right, and also the combat system is so poorly designed that I feel like a remake should be amazing afterwards. But another game I would be also excited about if it comes out outside of the DS and the actual and the mobile ports would be Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Oh, I love Ghost Trick.
Or what
Damn.
about Lost Planet?
Lost Planet was okay. I don't know. I wasn't really big on
The
it.
only thing I know about Lost Planet is that I played the demo on the PS3 ages ago and then just never cared.
Yeah.
Ever again.
I just never cared ever.
Like, let me get Ghost and Goblins or Capcom vs. K Fighters. Those are like the two that I want the most.
Okay, what about Azura's Wrath?
Okay, Azura's Wrath. Let me get a PS4 port real quick. That was great. That was a great game.
Yeah, that's a really good PS3 game. And if you also want to go ahead, what about, did Dragon's Dogma get a PS4 port? I feel like it did.
Not that I know of. No.
Let me see. I feel
Dragon's Crowned. Dragon's Crowned.
Oh no, Dragon's Dogma did come on PS4. Never mind.
Yeah, it did come on PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, talking on my ass again.
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma Dark Horizon?
Yeah.
Arson? However the fuck you say that?
Yeah, the Dark Arisen is
Arisen, there we go. I can't talk.
is in the double discount sale right now.
Exactly.
Is it actually? I'll look at that.
Double discount.
Yeah, and I think the last thing that from Capcom that would be interesting to hear more about is the game that they're developing, the new IP, Deep Down, but that's about it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they went back and remade like Devil May Cry 1.
I wouldn't mind them remaking the DMC series. That would be pretty
Like
cool.
I could see them doing it for Devil May Cry 1 because that's an older, like maybe DMC 3 as well.
Yeah.
Like 1, 2, 3. Like they obviously won't do 4 because I think they've redone 4. God knows how many
Yeah,
times.
4 is already on the PS4. But I
Yeah.
guess the HD versions of 1 to 3 are as well. But
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
Yeah,
those
it's
games,
an HD
those games are still
collection.
those games are still in their PS2, quality.
Yeah, like you want like them to like redo everything, like
You want
Yeah, if
them-
you want a full-fledged remake,
yeah, you want a
them to
facelift
pop,
type of shit.
you want them to pop like Devil May Cry 5.
all I want is that Mega Man, Metroid Prime style game again. Come on, give it to me. Sounds like an
Maybe.
awesome idea.
Maybe
Yeah.
one day, who knows?
One day.
Oh well, at least they're opening the floodgates like Atlas did.
Good to have dreams, so hold on to them.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move on to our next story, which is apparently God of War is the fastest selling exclusive on the PS4 right now.
Woohoo!
As it should be.
Yeah.
is that really a shocker to anyone? Like, can I just put that out there? Is that really a shocker?
It's
I
the
think it
fastest
is still
selling
reasonable.
PlayStation game in PlayStation history. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think people are shocked that it's outselling games like Last of Us and Uncharted.
Yeah.
Because, like, for a while, Last of Us and Uncharted was like the flagship for, you know, the PS3 and the PS4.
But I mean, it's God of War.
It is, and like this makes me insanely happy that it's better than Last of Us.
Funny because
and you know why that is. I'm not gonna say that.
Which is funny because this like PS4 version of God of War is like outselling the original trilogy like by just miles.
Yeah, it's they like God of War.
I would argue that Kratos wasn't really a flagship of the PlayStation, but like because of this new God of War, I guess like now he's just the mainstay now because of like how like good the game is.
I mean, everybody was very expecting a very, very angry boy, but now we have a very, very calm boy and his boy.
A calm boy and his boy.
Yeah, a calm boy and his boy.
Shut
what
your
a day to be alive.
Yeah. But yeah, at least that's a no-brainer for anyone who's actually looking forward to God of War. So that's more the reason to seeing that getting like I don't know. I think that should just become a PlayStation hit for PS4 at this point. But for its worth, I'm just gonna leave it like that. So yeah, boy.
Boy.
Yes. That was the deepest boy I ever heard. Anyway, let's move on to our final story about BioWare. I'm not sure if any of you guys heard, but apparently BioWare is trying to resurrect the corpse that is Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
Well, they're still working. They're planning on still working on the games.
Yeah.
Which makes me curious if they still like for the Mass Effect side of things because I never played Dragon Age, so I'm sure somebody else will talk about that. But on the Mass Effect side of things, I'm curious to know if they're still going to stick with the Andromeda theme, despite the fact that the Andromeda game was like just shot down, or if they're gonna continue within like the current galaxy.
Yeah.
Like with the Mass Effect trilogy. Like the first three.
I don't know what they will do, but it'll. But people saying like apparently the Andromeda sequel would be the best bet. To be honest.
I hope so. Like I hope they just take whatever they screwed up on the first time and just
build upon it.
Manage to get it right because, like, I know this is probably going to be a shock to whoever hated Andromeda, but I didn't mind the game all that much. I actually got 100% in it, and honestly, the game had a few, bugs and weird facial animations that I couldn't help but laugh at. But that's just part of Mass Effect. Like, the first three games weren't perfect, so
yeah,
I had bugs and various facial problems and stuff with the first three games, but
exactly, but. You know what would be interesting? Seeing.
I mean, sorry. It was just Andromeda is not my favorite Mass Effect game, not by a mile, but it's not a bad one either.
I mean, here's Priceless saying that they can't go back to the Milky Way unless they pick a canon ending to the original trilogy, and yeah, I guess so.
That's true because I guess the Milky Way is pretty much over with since. It's just left based on whatever you set it to.
Yeah, which is a bad
like
way
Andromeda is literally just basing off of your story as to whatever you decided to choose in the trilogy. So
yeah. But do you guys think that in any case, BioWare is also trying to get those games onto like a trilogy port on PS4? Like
I hope so.
I would wish.
Yeah.
I'd be super excited to go back and play through those games again.
Yeah,
even though I hated Insanity on Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, because EA is now being lenient on opening the floodgates for remasters and ports of games like Burnout Paradise, for example. And also, if you're looking into Dragon Age's history, not many people have played or heard about this game series before. And that got a like a trilogy bundle on, I think it was a duology bundle, which is Dragon Age and Dragon Age Origins on PS3. But besides those, like, nobody has heard about this series outside of the people that already played these games.
It would help EA climb like out of the shithole that they dug themselves in.
Yeah.
If they just like released like not even remasters. I don't even care if they change anything to the games.
Yeah. Like, even though Inquisition...
Just make them a trilogy and put them on like the newer consoles.
Yeah. Even though Inquisition was that one game that they, people have been clamoring about, playing, as Nick says, that it was the Game of the Year edition back in 2014. Even though that, people don't know the original story. Not many people know about this, and the people who have played it know what they're talking about and know what the story is about. I haven't heard about it. I don't know what the story is. I just want to play it, and I know people I've heard about it is a very good story, and I really want to play it. But seeing a new trilogy port or whatever alongside the new game would be great. But EA being EA, they could be doing a Activision by having it as a pre-order bonus or something like that to tie in with that, even though people will still buy it, it's still scummy of their part, it depends on what they want to do in the long run, but it's
that's the thing you gotta think of, like what are they gonna do though?
Yeah, because if you start like Mass Effect for Andromeda, and at least if you continue off Andromeda, that's a good way to like have people do the Andromeda trilogy instead, and not focus on the previous one. But it would be interesting if they continue off what they ended on in the original trilogy, and move it into PS4 territory, so people can use those decisions to impact the game furthermore. But it's interesting what they will do, but I'm
not going to spoil anything in case anyone wanted to go back and actually play Andromeda. But the ending to Andromeda ended in such a way that pretty much just said that they were going to make another game based on it. Oh,
yeah.
Like in the Andromeda universe. So I'm still holding out hope.
Yeah, and I'll also say, like, Mass Effect 3, it was that one game that people say that they really wanted a sequel of to end it all, but they wrote themselves into a corner that they can't come back to, so they have to finish it and face on the consequences. So it's very difficult to end.
I actually don't mind the way that the trilogy ended, like after they released the new like extended cut or whatever, the extended ending, because it actually, yeah, like you can download like this free update or whatever for Mass Effect 3, and it talks more about the endings in like what Shepard did, how it affected like all the worlds and stuff. But it wasn't in the main game. Like as soon as you picked like whatever ending you wanted, then the ending it almost just like cut the credits. But in the extended ending thing, it basically just talked about what happened after Shepard chose what he did. Like how all the like Krogans and how they all, like what they did after the war was over, essentially.
Yeah. It's still like we're dangling above the spoiler territory about Mass Effect. So I think moving on to like saying like just closing off saying, yeah, EA do ports about these games. People want them to play them again, but don't want to like buy a console just to play them again.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure if any of you guys are interested besides V-Tips. No?
Yeah, but it's just not something I've ever been really that into.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, that brings us to a close on the news section of the podcast. So, yeah. Before we continue on, so let's go say that wrap up saying that, okay, so the next section that we are going to do is just basically the Tricky Trophy section. basically, the tricky trophy section is that we do anecdotes for some of our trophies of games that we have gotten very, very tired of, very frustrated, have been grindy, and basically we have so much frustration on, or really have something to say about in regards to ourselves. So, if anyone has their tricky trophies on them, they want to start, they can say
Oh,
right now.
God.
Lee, you seem passionate.
Yeah. I'll go first because goddamn it. Mine is for Yakuza Kiwami. It's the 100% trophy, 100% completionist.
Okay.
That's not the platinum. It's just the trophy.
Oh.
Yeah. So what you have to do literally everything in like the ending game completion guide. Now with all that, it includes all the mini games such as mahjong and poker and fucking blackjack and cello and all those games. Listen, Pricey, I beat mahjong. All right, I finally beat it. On top of that, you have to do all the sub stories. You have to do all of the Majima everywhere shit. You have to do all the adventure shit, so like eating everywhere, running everywhere, doing all that nonsense. Then you have to do all types of battling, so like battling all the different stances, battling different people and whatnot, and it's just a royal pain in the ass. On top of that, and this is the thing that I didn't know about until yesterday when I thought it was finally over. You have to collect all the weapons and all the gear.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I thought it was over.
So you got a nice little wake up call.
Yeah, so I was doing most of that last night. Yeah, I have like 10 more weapons and like 10 more gear to get. But nonetheless, it's still a royal pain. Oh yeah, also I have a new PSN. It's X Yatagarasu. It's that right there.
Yeah. What does that mean, actually?
So it's the three-legged raven in Japanese.
Huh.
X Yatagarasu.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very, very well pronounced.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, is that everything you want to say about Yakuza?
Besides that one trophy, a royal fucking bitch, it's a great game.
Besides that one trophy being a royal bitch.
It's a great game. It's a Majima's Bay.
I love fucking Yakuza, but I fucking hate this trophy. Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, like yo, like that trophy like makes this game a royal pain in the ass. But like the rest of the stuff in the game, like it's relatively easy. The story's great, like I said. So
yeah. Oh well, at least you got that.
Kiwami too soon.
Anyone else who want to step in on saying anything else?
I guess I'll go next.
Okay, let's go.
This is a trophy I should have, but I don't, because the game decided to screw me out of it twice. It is called Wake Up, and it's in Claire Extended Cut on the
Wake up, get up, get out there. Sorry.
on the PS Vita, Claire Extended Cut.
Mm-hmm.
And it is and the trophy is to finish the game on Nightmare difficulty. Okay. Now, I will preface this by saying I have done this Nightmare mode twice, and what you have to do in the Nightmare difficulty is because in Claire, I didn't say this earlier, but in Claire you have a health meter and a panic meter. So whenever the game gets too dark or monsters decide to pop out, your panic meter shoots up, and the game gets all fuzzy and dark and like grainy, which makes it harder to see. And on Nightmare difficulty, if your panic shoots up to the horrified state, which is max panic, you start losing health, and your health starts ticking down, like step by step, like every 5 seconds, until you either find a calm spot or you eat like items that either reduce your panic or reduce your or increase your health. I have done this trophy, or I've done this run twice, and I didn't get the trophy for it because I think there's a bug in the Vita version where if you die or reload your save at any point, the game thinks you're playing on like one of the easier difficulties where the panic doesn't kill you.
Okay.
Like story mode, you can play through it and the panic doesn't do damage to you. Like you'll hit a horrified state, but your health won't go down. But I think the game believes because I reloaded a save or died that I'm playing on story mode. So whenever I hit the horrified state, my health doesn't go down. It's like I still get hurt for a lot of health if I get hit by a monster, but I don't take any like panic damage. So when I beat the game, it doesn't matter what kind of ending you get. You don't have to save all the survivors or get all the collectibles. But when you save, like when you beat the game on Nightmare difficulty on the PS4, at least I got the trophy for finishing the game. But on the Vita version, I have played through Nightmare mode twice, and I've still not gotten the trophy. So,
yep.
I played through it start to finish. I deleted all my saves just on my second playthrough of Nightmare mode just to see if I can get it. I still haven't gotten it, but I'm considering re-downloading it and hoping that works. But I should have this trophy. Like, by all accounts, I have beaten Nightmare mode twice, and it just refuses to give me the trophy.
Okay. So, is that everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Sora, want to go next?
Yes, so mine's coming from a special place in my heart.
It's Kingdom Hearts, isn't it?
No,
Okami.
it's Okami.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Oh.
So guys, now this isn't a tricky trophy if you don't do what I did.
Yeah.
But since it did happen to me, I'm counting it as a tricky trophy, motherfucker.
Okay.
So, the tricky trophy is from Okami. And the trophy in question, hold up, I accidentally deleted the tab, and I do not remember the name of the trophy, so pause for a couple seconds. Hold up, and okay, From Imps to Demons is the name of the trophy, and it requires you to kill every single enemy in the game and complete your bestiary. Now, every enemy is not missable except for 2 enemies, that being the Fire Doom Mirror that you fight in one of the dungeons, and you also fight a Clay Flyer in one of the missions that you go to. Try to avoid spoilers, but it's kind of hard when talking about Okami.
Yeah.
But so let's give it a hypothetical scenario. I'm not saying this happened or anything. I'm definitely not saying that whatsoever. So let's put this in a hypothetical scenario. So, supposed to say that you checked over the bestiary list. Supposed to say that you checked the bestiary list and you saw that everything was okay. Okay?
Yeah.
Supposed to say that you saw everything was right with the bestiary list and you went on to the point of no return at the final point of Okami and saved there. Now, come to find out when you beat the game and you kill the final boss, that trophy doesn't pop, and you're pissed. So immediately what I did, I was like...
Hypothetically,
yeah. I'm not saying this happened or anything, no. So hypothetically, you go back into the game and you check your bestiary list and you cross-reference it with the list that you find online. And then you find out that you're missing an enemy, but not just any enemy. No. One of the enemies that you can miss in the game. And so, hypothetically, supposed to say you would have to start a brand new game and play all the way up to the point where that enemy was. Hypothetically.
And kill it.
did you hypothetically throw your controller in the process?
Hypothetically, controllers were broken in the process, yes. Hypothetically,
was that person also bitching about it late at night in the voice chat rooms? Because
there were a couple. There were like 2 to 3 days where I was wanting to kill myself.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember when I was.
the thought crossed my mind once or
I
twice.
remember when I was hypothetically there for that.
Yeah, me too. I was like hypothetically into that.
No, man, you can fuck yourself.
Oh my god. So
For anyone who's like not watching the video and just said, "Hey, can you help me platinum Okami?" and I just said, "Fuck you" to him.
yeah,
There's clarification.
Yeah, thank God this game only has like one stack, and it's only for PS3 and PS4 shared. So
Yeah.
I have the game and I still I haven't touched it yet, but I plan on playing it sometime.
So-
I just
yeah, I just
Soon.
if anyone who's trying to play this game, do what Sora didn't actually do.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically didn't actually do. Just follow a guide. Make sure that your bestiary is complete. Make sure that you're under the time limit, which you'll probably never be above the required time limit and everything. Like you'll probably unlock all the wolf costumes and everything. So, but yeah, I recommend Okami. Just don't do what Sora did, and
I fucking hate you, Nomad, so fucking much.
Don't be a failure like Sora on Okami. Tips unclear.
I mean, I haven't said mine anything, so I'll go ahead.
You're next, bitch.
Yeah, I'm next.
Yeah,
I request Nomad be stepped down from his mod position.
I'll take over.
Oh yeah. Okay, so mine comes from Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and it comes from the trophy Golden Axe, which is to earn the Golden Sega license. Now, this doesn't sound bad because if you're going to all the trophies, you're probably going to get this naturally. But if you're like me and already got the trophies of some of them, and you got maybe hypothetically say that your PS3 original.
Are we speaking in hypotheticals again?
Yeah, hypothetically your PS3 basically gets a red ring, like a yellow light of death, and then your save files are like fucked and you can't get anything, and you have to play it now from scratch on PS3, but you still have the trophies uploaded onto PS3 on the PSN. And it's like they're haunting you with missing timestamps and everything.
Hypothetically haunting you.
Yeah, like that. So it's like some of the trophies are like hypothetically, with timestamps that are not there anymore. Let's say hypothetically you have to grind more than 750,000 miles to get this trophy. Yeah, so Golden Axe requires you to get at least 750,000 miles, and by doing so, it's like you play the race normally. You get a multiplier at the end by the total amount of miles that you have raced upon on the track. So the longer the track, theoretically, the more miles you get, and the more laps you get, the more miles you end up getting. So in a 9, the maximum was 9 laps on the longest track, could easily net you 8,000, Sega miles, which is the ones that
Sega miles.
So, and that gives you enough to get on this golden Sega license. So, in the game, you can purchase items in the shop, and you'll probably get to buy all of them before getting this trophy, actually. And when you do reach it, it's like when you're like silver Sega license, not golden. So, and the gap from silver to gold is like when it's like almost from platinum prestige to platinum prestige 2, like that big of a gap, because it's like from 500,000 to 750,000. So that's like 150,000 Sega miles right there. So, and you already did everything, and you got all the trophies, and only missing like one online trophy, and that one, and you got 150,000 Sega miles to do. So what do? You grind it out. And how you propose to do that? So you pick the shortest race, which is for me rooftops on Super Monkey Ball, which is like a each lap is like 30 seconds. You put one lap and then hit play again and hit play again and hit play again and hit play again, and you always get 2,000 miles per race. So it's enough to like keep doing like laps around it, but remind you that's a minute per 2,000, which is easily grindable if you're not like me and have to do it and still have a lot of shit to do and have to like keep grinding it. So in my case, I was actually editing the podcast while doing that trophy. So, but even after I finished editing the podcast, I still had to keep grinding. So, always fun. Hypothetically. But yeah, that is the worst trophy. I don't like grinding at all for trophies like that because
never played a JRPG then.
No, I like JRPGs because that makes you grinding, and at least I can listen to something and do something else, and it's quite entertaining than just doing one or a 30-minute laps, 30-second laps on like for maybe 2 hours until like it pops eventually and you get a platinum. As soon as I was done with that game, I basically just removed it from my PS3 and put it on the sleeves, and never gonna touch that game for a long time. Anyway,
alright.
Yeah, so that's about it. It's a fun game, but just don't do what I did. Anyway, let's finish up the podcast by basically saying a few updates on the Discord server. So, yeah. Okay, so last week we mentioned about the screenshot competition. So we already picked the winner. Rust from due to popular vote, we got three magnificent screenshots to be had. One from Don, one from Adam, and one from Cypher. And the winner from that competition was Cypher.
Yay!
Yeah. So congratulations to Cypher who won that competition with his fascinating picture of, if I'm not mistaken, it was like Infamous Second Son, or was it First Light?
It was Infamous Second Son.
Oh, Second Son?
Second Son. Yeah. So congratulations to Cypher for completing that. Anyway, besides that, some updates regarding our Arsal server is that that we have some new community organizers and mods. So congratulations to Nomad Dragon for promotion. He's now a full-fledged mod.
No, fuck that dude.
Power.
Exactly. And congratulations to our new community organizers, B-Tips and Lee.
Those guys are cool.
Yeah, as well as...
Yeah, those guys are awesome, man.
As well as Igni. Thank you.
Listen, get a nub button. You'll become a CEO.
Who the hell is Igni?
Girl talk, Igni. That's the man. He saved my ass in Mahjong. He gets the pass.
Yeah.
He gets the pass.
Exactly. So, congratulations, you guys, for getting the position. Thank you. And you've been doing some great jobs, to be honest. Helping out in the welcome mat whenever someone comes in, and checking out the rooms whenever something happens. So.
Don't worry, guys. I'm just a lonely peasant before your eyes.
No, Sora, you're a very helpful person around the server. You keep us.
Yeah,
company.
you get a role. It's called Okami.
You keep
us Can we make a role specifically for me called
keep us going with the power of friendship.
Word.
Yes, the power of friendship and optimism.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And Okami.
Anyway, besides that, congratulations to everyone. And besides, I think besides that, I think that's basically everything about the Discord updates for now. We have a full-fledged updates page right now on #updates for the channel. If anyone's interested in looking at that in the server itself, and if anyone who's listening and is interested in joining the server, this links is always down below in the description or inside the actual Twitter page. It's always on. What?
podcast with that laughter?
Nah, dude.
We have to anyway.
Yeah,
you have
dude,
to plug your shit.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking plug it.
I mean,
Alright,
Sora,
let's
you
plug it.
are our key to our hearts. So
Fuck y'all.
so how can we find your key?
How can you find my key? Well, I mean, you just check below my pants, and oh wait, that's the wrong podcast for. Anyway. What? Wow.
Wow.
Yo, no, that's out of pocket. All right.
Yeah.
Damn, I like that Nomad Spicy.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at SaratsuG.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys, for having me again.
Yeah, you're always welcome on the podcast, man. Anytime. Anyways, B-Tips, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at GamerBtips.
Yes. And Lee, who are you, strange fellow? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Herrera195.
You can also find him under the bridge where he lives.
Oh,
Word.
Yeah.
I'm going through a hard time already. Leave me alone. Like, listen, my batteries are running low on my nub button. Soon I'm gonna have to get new ones. It's sad day.
Okay, and you can find me on Twitter at DVictronic. You can also follow the Trophy Trust podcast Twitter account at the Trophy Trust. You can also follow us on subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we always like try to check the comment section and everything to see what's what and actually respond to the fans if there's any. Besides that, we also have a Patreon account, so you can keep the servers up and hosting for SoundCloud. We also have that page as well up and running. Besides that, you can also check this Discord where we boost, talk, and basically glorify on trophies. You can post your platinums around, talk to most people that enjoy platinums as well, and join boosting like stuff that we do pretty much every single day, as well as
talk to us.
Yeah,
we'll be your friends, and maybe touch your dicks a little. What? No, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Exactly. So if you enjoyed what we do, consider like following us and giving us whatever that you need. We always try to listen to feedback on whatever we do. So
Give us your money.
Give us your money. No, not really. But if you want to join us, the Patreon account is always free.
If you want.
If you want to chip in $1 or $2, so we always like that. Anyways, besides that, I feel like that's pretty much everything for this episode 48 of the Trophy Trust podcast. So
We're on our way to 69, boys.
oh yeah, no 50s, only 69. Yeah.
Yeah, 50's not the milestone anymore, boys. 69 is.
Yeah. And then the next
We're going all the way, boys.
And then the next one will be 169. Yeah.
Oof,
Yeah. Oof.
I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Now you're getting sexual.
Oh my. Oh
Get
my.
blue.
Oh my.
We all have to hit that 420, Oh, that 420.
Yeah.
All of us will have nut buttons by then.
Exactly.
Yes, we should.
Exactly. Well, that's pretty much everything about the Trophy Trust. Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope to see you next week. Good night.
Bye.
Hey guys, bye.
I knew you were gonna fucking nut.
I know, yeah, I knew he was gonna
Listen,
fucking.
I always nut.